All right, thanks for joining. You have Weather Matt here. Please join us on Twitter at WXMatt2, or you can follow our blog at nyweather.blogspot.com. So we're going to talk today about three big things. First is the cold. Second is the snowstorm possible for next weekend. And then finally, a warm up in the pattern that I know some people have been looking for. So let's jump right into it. First thing is let's just look at the recent cold here. And if you live in upstate New York, places like Oneonta, Oswego, you were dealing with below zero temperatures this morning. Unfortunately, that's going to continue here for a couple more days. You kind of have the Finger Lakes will moderate a little bit, but we're talking still single digits, 5, 7 degrees, Ithaca, Oneonta, Binghamton, Oswego. So you got some really cold temperatures there in upstate New York. If you go up to the Adirondacks, Saranac Lake, or over to Green Mountains and then up to Burlington, you're going to see some temperatures below zero tonight. Monday morning, you'll wake up. You're looking at 15 below if you're all the way up by the New York-Canadian border. You're looking at 5 to 10 below near Burlington in northern Vermont. So some bitterly cold air will remain in the area here for the next day or two. Let's get to our storm threat. So we're looking at a possible snowstorm next Saturday and Sunday, the 29th and 30th. So we'll dive into the models here. We're looking at the 500 millibar vorticity. This is the spin in the atmosphere. And without becoming too technical here, this is essentially the amount of energy in the atmosphere in the mid to upper levels. So we like to watch this. In order for a big snowstorm to come through, we need a lot of energy. And you can see the GFS definitely has that. If you look at that Wednesday, Thursday timeframe, you have a piece of energy coming out of the Midwest here, and you're going to have it slide down over to the Gulf Coast right around here. Saturday morning, you're going to have a pretty significant storm here in the Gulf Coast. And then the models, and especially the GFS, has this turning up the coast and creating a 980 millibar, 990 surface low off the coast of North Carolina on Saturday afternoon going into Sunday. That is a recipe for an enormous snowstorm. And the GFS has 1 to 2 feet of snow from North Carolina all the way up to Maine, an enormous snowstorm. Now, we should remember a couple things. First is we're 5 to 7 days out from this event. This is far from locked in. Second is this is the GFS, and 3 of the last 4 big snow threats for the Northeast. The 995 GFS has been very positive and bullish this time frame, and then they've either moved out to sea or tracked south of our area. So still early, and what I would watch is actually the Ensemble models at this point. Essentially, for those of you who are less technical, Ensemble models, the control run is the main run that we're just looking at for the GFS. This is the Euro, and the Ensembles, what they do is they run slightly different initialization. So the first run of the model, they'll vary different assumptions in the upper atmosphere and at the surface, and then run the model out. And so you get 20 to 30 different members, each with a different solution. And when you look at that, and you have the newest Euro run here, Ensembles, you do have 3, 4, maybe 5 or 6 that would have a low tracking close enough to the coast to give the eastern seaboard a significant snow event. And you have the control, and many of the members here are falling a little too far to the east to deliver a big snowstorm for the I-95 cities. You kind of maybe talking about, far down East Maine and Massachusetts getting into the action. And some of these members would deliver pretty big snow, but most of them are well offshore. So Euro's kind of saying, I don't buy a GFS not coming together. I will say though, what this does tell us is you have pretty tight confidence, considering it's 5, 6 days out, that there will be a big storm. These are all pretty deep lows. It will track off the East Coast, and so what that tells us is we really have to watch this one. So just getting back into the forecast, we'll have to watch this for next weekend. And, the nice thing is after this comes through, and I know many people are kind of sick of these really bitterly cold temperatures we've had the last week, we will have a little bit of a warm up in early February. So let's look at the 2-meter temperature anomaly. This is essentially compared to average from the last, say, 30 years. And what you see here is more red on the East Coast starting around February 1st. You're going to really see a warm up and a moderation of temperatures, and that should last from the 1st to the 6th. So, high level, it's pretty far out there from a forecast perspective, but these types of broad kind of pattern changes, a ridge in the east as opposed to the trough we've had in the east, you can pretty much count that we're going to see some warm up here during the first week of February. So I know that's good news for a lot of people. Once again, we're going to keep tracking the storm. Follow us at WXMAT2 and nyweather.blogspot.com for the latest. Thanks for joining.